Hi. Can you hear me? Oh, shoot, but I can't hear you. One sec, let me rejoin it.
Good morning.
Now I can hear. Good morning.
All right. Good
Wendy
morning.
here. You're Kai?
Wendy. Yes. Hi.
How are you?
Good. Good.
Oh,
Good.
so I just emailed you the answers, my replies.
I received it. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you for emailing the answer. Good morning, Eddie. Good morning, Claudia. There we are. And Ariel, she is logging in right now. Okay, let's give it one more minute. Okay, admit. All right, you are back. Morning, Ariel.
Morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hey, Ariel.
Hi, good to see your beautiful face.
Likewise. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. From New York City, from your old hometown.
I know, I missed it. Yeah. How is it?
Well, I can feel the fall, finally. So that's why I'm wearing my sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something I miss that we don't have here in South California.
Yeah, the seasons, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It has its advantages and disadvantages. I know. I get it.
Yeah. Great.
Cool.
Join us today. So.
You want to upload the presentation, Ariel?
Yes. Let's see.
All right, as Ariel is uploading the presentation, I just want to welcome you to introduction to NLP. The purpose of this introduction is to really giving you an idea and just more skills in your toolbox around NLP. Why is it important to learn? What does it do for you? How it works? And it's part of the certification process. So it's part of the certification process where it's pre-study. So we do have Dr. Edward Harsinia here with us. He's participating in the certification that starts here in a few days, September 27, 28, 29, and then 30th and the 1st is 5-day certification. So it's a pre-study prior to the certification so that, when people walk into certification, they do have the introduction, the basics as they're walking in. So many of you may have not, know much about NLP. I know Claudia, we met at an event where I was doing an introduction there and she loved it. And now she is, wants to learn more. So that's a purpose for her for being here on this call. And I want to hear from the rest. What is it that you want to really accomplish in your life out of learning NLP? Why are you here? I mean, time is the most valuable asset that we own, and yet you're here investing your time and your energy. So would it make sense for us to create the end in mind? So in NLP, one of the things we always start with the end in mind, like know what you want, right? So know what you want. What is it that you want to accomplish out of learning this very powerful technology? So who would like to start?
I can, if you want. My name is Wendy. Hi. I'm actually looking forward to learning about this tool because I know the mind is a powerful, amazing organ that we could reprogram it and to make it make it as stronger as a computer, right? We could learn so many techniques and skills, and we could just like, yeah, restart it, reboot it whenever we want. So my challenge has been that I've hit a roadblock, and I know I'm not the only one, because I hear this all the time. I've heard, you know, since a little kid, I've read a lot of self-books. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos of people's experiences regarding finance or their personal career change, or not being fulfilled in their love life or at home or whatnot. So what I'm trying to do is to gain a perspective, like to understand better how to do the neuro-linguistic programming, so I can help myself and be able to reflect that and help others with the same situation that I'm dealing with right now. To tell you a little bit about my story, my story is, I mean, like any other story, probably. I'm not the only one that's dealt with this, but 12 years ago, I graduated medical school from Dominican Republic. Ever since then, I've been trying to be a licensed physician here in the States, but it has been not the best. It's been a journey. I've gone through depression and anxiety. I was like being stuck. I'm like feeling like, oh, there's no other options for me. You know, I thought this was my purpose in life, and it's just not coming to fruition no matter how hard I try. So I obviously, to get out of myself from depression and anxiety, I kind of recur to holistic modalities, because I quite believe that, you know, kind of tuning to within yourself, you're able to obtain better results. So I did a lot of yoga, Pilates, exercise, changed my diet a little bit, and my sleeping patterns. So long story short, so that was part of it. And then ever since then, it's been 12 years I've been in the healthcare industry. But however, my highest potential hasn't been used. I know I am great as interacting with people. I'm known to have people skills, like social, like I connect easily with people for some reason, and I'm not being rewarded accordingly because of it. So I was currently working as a clinical coordinator, research coordinator here at Columbia. That's where I'm at. And my last day, I put a resignation just 2 weeks ago, because I was just not, I didn't want to continue that path. And I was like, you know what, it's now or never. Funny thing is, I had started a new project, and I was like, oh my God, this is not for me. I do not want to deal with lab. I don't want to be doing, this is like, I'm not a biochemist. I mean, I just felt like shit. In other words, like, you know, rustically like shit. And funny thing is, obviously, the law of attraction, I know I was saying to myself, I so want to get fired. I so want to get fired. And obviously it was that or me resigning. So it came to that point. And funny thing is that, you know, as a type of alpha male that I am, I used to be really secure with finance, but the funny thing is, like, I was feeling really miserable the past year and a half. And the luck that I had the money, but I kind of overspent traveling. So I traveled so much that now I'm on $22,000 debt. And long story short, yeah, it's like, okay, now I don't have a job. I have a salary until November. What now? So that is my story. So this is why I ran upon, I did Neuro-Linguistic Programming course by David Key. I don't know if you guys heard of him. Online, I just paid like $345 back in 2012. Because I'm like, I know this is what I've heard from Tony Robbins. It's a great tool to kind of rewire your brain, so you could choose wisely and cautiously how to, you know, your finances, your whatnot, your love life. But long story short, I just hit the roadblock right now. So it's like, okay, I know it's not the end of the world, but I need to figure out, you know, what's my next step. So this is what I saw that is an opportune time for my next step, literally.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Thank you, Wendy. Wow, it sounds like you had a fulfilling past few years from pursuing medical school to
Yeah,
fulfill job to traveling a lot
oof, a lot.
and not feeling that your potential is being used. You're not using your full potential, so now you're hitting roadblock again and like, why am I making only this much where I can be this much?
Mhm.
So you've heard a lot of from Tony Robbins and everything else that this is a very powerful technology, and you said
Mhm.
to yourself, now is the time, and now that's why you're here. So we appreciate you being
Yeah.
here. That's not unusual. That's very common. The matter of fact, that was my story when I first started back in 2008.
Mhm.
I hit rock bottom, and that's when I decided I went to the law of attraction. Very similar to your story. I watched The Secret, and in The Secret,
Yeah.
they're telling us what to do, but they weren't telling us how to do it, right?
Mhm.
And NLP is all about the science of how to do things, how to rewire your brain, how to get your belief system aligned with your values, with your behaviors, with your actions, and the results that you want to see in life. And that's the reason why I went to Tony Robbins, I attended Unleash the Power Within, and then I pursued NLP, and I got practitioner, master practitioner, and then the trainer. And recently I refreshed my trainer certification in Vegas, and that's where I met Ariel. And she's a phenomenal trainer, Matt, and she's going to be leading today. And I'm going to be, jumping in and out, assisting, moderating, facilitating. Like always, I can't help myself but jumping in, so that we make sure that, I am involved, everybody's involved, and we're getting everything what we want. So thank you for being here, Wendy. Who would like to go
Thank
next?
you.
Hi, this is Eddie. I can go. What I want to do is just definitely I want to have more tools in my toolbox to use. The other thing that I see is just fulfilling on my true potential. Inside of that, what I see is how can um, I use my subconscious mind to fulfill the things I want to do um, uh, instead of my subconscious mind just doing what it does and me trying to struggle or trying to fight and do my daily things that I do. But how can I create it that in such a way that I can be more effective? So basically that.
Cool. Thank you, Eddie. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm very excited having you. An NLP practitioner who starts here on Friday, and it's going to be quite a journey. And you're already successful. You're running a business, you're running a clinic, and you've been in the personal development for a long time through Landmark. Also, as a personal friend of mine and being on the board of directors of our nonprofit, it's always an honor, privilege to be able to contribute to your life. And I know that you had a DevEx preparation all last week, which you're preparing for the talk. So I'm eager to learn how this process is going and where NLP could come in, so that you could manage your own state, manage the state of the crowd, and be able to get them to see the vision that you have in mind now, don't you? So who would like to go next? Can hear you, Claudia. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, I'm Claudia, and I relate very much with what Wendy and Eddie said. And Wendy, when you reach rock bottom and you said it's the end of the world, that's great, because at the end of the world, that's the beginning. So I can relate very much with what you're saying. I am a holistic therapist, and I found myself, and I believe all of you can relate with this, when you don't manage your energy very well, you end up getting, receiving and giving more than you should, than you're drained. As a therapist, I just have to do my therapy. But I found that the therapy that is supposed to be 1 hour ends to be 3 hours, because the person, of course, they are there and they want to talk and I want to hear, but I wish I could give wiser advice. No, I have been trying to do what I can, but when I heard about NLP, I said, wow. But now let's forget about helping others. It was like, oh my gosh, yes, now I can help others. But wait, you have to help yourself first. You have to clean your house. We have so many hidden things, so many patterns that you keep repeating. And you know, as Eddie said, they're in the subconscious mind. And I'm like, holy cow, how do I get them out of there? Now I hear you can also work on those. I think it should not be NLP, should be NLP NLP magic. So I am eager to learn more.
That's
think
awesome. Great, thank you.
If you are open, the possibilities and the universe aligns for you to receive what you need to receive at the moment. So thank you.
Thank you, Claudia. Thank you for your support. Thank you for recreating the experience of Wendy. That's one of the things with NLP, be able to recreate the experience of the other person in such a way that they are now, you know, kind of like touched and feel like they're not alone. So that's brilliant, Claudia. Your subconscious is using some of the NLP skills without you even knowing. So that's why you're called to this technology. So now you know exactly why you're doing it and how you're doing it. So thank you for that. Who would like to go next? We got Josh here on the just join us. Welcome, Josh.
How are you, sir? Can you hear me and see me? I don't know.
Yes,
Okay.
I can hear you.
All
What is
right.
it that you want to accomplish? What is it that you want to accomplish out of learning NLP?
So I'm new to this. I'm drawn to this. I've been in personal development myself since January with my transition from, you know, just normalcy into plant medicine and into breath work through the Wim Hof method. I'm very excited to dive into this. The brain intrigues me so much. I have so much on my plate coming up in the future, about to be a dad. I'm in sales, and I think all of this is adding to the personal development and everything that I've been on in my journey since January. So I am here to listen, learn, and to become more and more every day with this program, and I'm pretty excited about it. So thank you, and I love you, my brother.
Man. All right, very good. Welcome, Josh. I know that you've been a lot in the personal development and also, you know, plant medicine and all that you're exploring, and this is just gonna like take it to the next level. So
Yes.
thanks for being here, brother. Who would like to go next? We got Mark. I don't know if you can hear us, Mark, and then we will. And Ariel is gonna take it away. Mark, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Mark is a phenomenal trainer. He's a certified NLP trainer as well, and a hypnotist, and he's been running a hypnosis certification for the past 7 days right now. And we're on the 7th day, so we still have 3 more days. And he's always a wealth of knowledge and wealth of information having him with us. So Mark, what is it that, just quick, if you want to share with everybody else, you know, what is it, the thing that you got for yourself in 2 minutes or less? What is it you got for yourself out of learning NLP? What is your big why behind?
Right. So here's the quick thing on NLP is that everything I did to make money involved using my hands. It involved physical labor. It involved using my hands to create things. And I got paid really well for doing that. The problem was one day I cut my finger on a table saw and I realized that everything I did to make money involved using my hands. So it made me turn to look at other ways to make money, and at first not even realizing it, to help myself, but then more importantly to help others. So since 1992, I've been working with this. I've been helping other people. I've been coaching people. I've been learning it and using it. And at some point, NLP just becomes part of who you are. And that's like a magical moment because you already know all these tools. You already know how to do all of this. The problem is you don't know that you know it. So NLP and learning NLP and training NLP helps to bring it to your conscious awareness. And then once you're consciously aware of it, you can fine tune it and then really reinstall the software. So it's like antivirus software for your mind that kind of gets rid of all the negative programs running in the background and then cleans it up and installs just the purest positive programs running so that you can more easily and effortlessly achieve what you want to in life and help others to do the same.
Perfect. Perfect. Very well said, Mark. Thank you very much. Ariel, take it away.
Yeah, hi everyone. Want to personally welcome you again. And I know Wendy, and thank you for sharing a lot of stories I can relate. And she's coming to the practitioner training with me in Los Angeles at the end of October.
Nice.
Which is
awesome.
Great. And personally, I want to share a personal story how I encountered NLP. So that takes me back all the way to my teenage year when I was 16. You know, you have this like just this one sport you just really hate. And for me, it was running. So I didn't like running, like especially running quick to be scored. But unfortunately, where I grew up in China, so running was part of the graduation test from high school. So you have to like reach certain speed. It was like 3.5 minutes for like a 1 mile run, something like that. And I remember it was this hot summer and I was sweaty. I was like doing my best, like every day. And then I'm just doing my best. And then, but I just saw everyone just pass me. And I finished so last. Like I didn't know why. Like, you know, most of the time I couldn't care less. I didn't like it anyway, but now like pressure on, like if I don't pass this, I can't graduate from high school. That means I can't come to America. And I was just like, I was practicing there. I was like, why I'm trying so hard, but like, it seems like I'm not moving. Why everyone's passing me? I think I'm doing my best. What's going on? Why they're just passing me? There must be an answer. And I'm someone I believe if you're determined, there's always a way. Like for me, I feel like I was reaching rock bottom because I was feeling like my running task, like for what? Like there must be a way. I have to pass this. I have no choice. I have to do it. And then because I prayed for that, and that's when I met Tony Robbins. I mean, I met meaning like I got his books and I learned this technique called mental rehearsal, which later I'll share with you during today's content. And then at the end of the practice, the training, I finished the first one. That was within 2 months of an unbelievable transformation. But I know from that on, if you're determined, even though wherever you are today, you can do it because you're seeking. So you find it and you can do it. And the process, it's easy and enjoyable. And I'll show you how to do it.
Cool.
So, yeah, so you guys excited today? We are jumping right into the content. So for those who are new to Neuro-Linguistic Programming, here it's a very quick recap of what NLP is. It's almost like our brain is just like a computer, right? For computer, you have input, you click like around on the table and then things pop up. So for our human brain, the input would be like our senses from like either our eyes for visual. Yes, Carl?
Just this slide. Can you put that slide on, Ariel?
Can you see the slides?
Yeah, but they're on the side. Can you put it into slide mode?
Oh, how do I do that?
Yeah, just go to slide. Or present or something. So that it can show on the screen. Right now, what shows on the screen is an introduction to NLP.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, we want to see the second slide.
How do I do that? Is it second slide?
You're not able to click. You're not able to. You're viewing areas.
I did share, and then I did share the slide.
Oh, maybe I should give you request remote control.
Accept?
did you, let's see here. Hold on a second. This will stop other questioning.
Nico stuff.
Hold on a second.
This will happen when things are not programmed right. It's not working.
This is a good example of how to
Yeah,
program it,
it's not
right?
working. Like I thought it was working, but it's not.
Okay, it's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay, let me take control. I think if I request remote control. Okay, so I'm gonna request remote control. So give me that, please.
Okay. How do I do that?
Just accept. You should be able to accept. Oh, what did you just do?
What did I just do?
Okay.
I also just shared the slides with you, so you can present from your computer if you like.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Let me do that. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, that's why it's online. Okay. Request access. Which account?
So while we're doing this, so technical things, I want you guys to now close your eyes. And today we're going to talk about goal and state. And I want you to close your eyes and think about one goal of your choice. If you want, you can close your eyes now and think about one goal. Visualize one goal that you want to focus today. Like the goal, whether in your personal finance or relationship or your health and fitness. I want you to just focus on one goal and pick that and close your eyes and see yourself doing it.
Hey, I'll send it to the other email, please.
Transformation, right?
So what's next, Ariel?
What's the other email?
Scarlett.Jordi@gmail.
What's next, Ariel?
So now you are at the goal, and I want you to experience what you feel when the goal is accomplished. So what are the feelings? Do you feel happy? Do you feel excited? Do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel content? Feel those feelings. And if you're a visual, have the picture logged in. Like have the picture logged in, meaning see what you see and then have the picture logged in. And if you are auditory, like you function by words, hear the sounds, like what people are saying to you. Hear the sound and remembering the sound. And if you're kinesthetic, you function more for feelings. I want you to log in the feelings that you're feeling right now, where you are. Now experiencing your goals being accomplished, maybe the moment when you just know this thing has accomplished. And now you feel really good. You're looking at the picture, you're hearing the sound. And now I want you to kind of float a little bit out of your body. And now you can see yourself in the picture. And you're leaving the feeling now in the picture. And now what I want you to do is kind of look back at now. Like now you're in the future, you're looking back at now. And I want you to see what's happening on this road. Like what does it have to happen in order for you to be there? Like what's going on from that point back to now? And I want you to kind of rehearse like going from your future back to now and float through all those events and then experiencing yourself like going through all the events, like kind of in a quick way, but kind of going through. And so you see exactly what you need to do in order to achieve that goal. And once you have a great, very clear idea, and you can float all the way back to now. Like, and when you're back to now, you can open your eyes. How was it? Anyone want to share like what feeling you had and what you saw like on the way back? What you experienced on the way back? Yes, Claudia?
I believe it's the first image that comes to you that feels good, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's an image that just came out of nowhere, like what? But it felt good.
Yeah.
And now I'm in that future, then coming back, it's like, okay, so I'm coming from the future to now, to the present. And she's asking me, she's asking me to now plan it, like rehearse, but what am I going to do to be here? So the images start coming and coming and coming and coming, and they feel good. Something I would slightly wish or dream about that, but right now it was in the trip. It was very clear.
Yeah, I think you are in control right now. So you got the slide in front of you. Whatever you did, that worked. So just carry on.
So we have a slide, perfect. So Claudia, when you're in your goals, like what feeling exactly did you feel? Or was it more picture? Was it more sound?
Relief.
Relieved. Okay, good.
Happy.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Yeah.
Great. And you're able to see kind of the path toward that future?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Anyone else who wants to share?
Me.
Yes.
Well, I actually felt the emotion of the future was contentment, fulfillment. And then I kind of pictured myself like in an audience, like a motivational speaker talking to a bunch of people.
Beautiful, yeah.
And it felt so fulfilling. And I was like, I actually placed a goal and set date in mind. I was like, I need to obtain this by November 1st, 2020, all that. So I was like, oh, okay, it feels great. So yeah.
Nice.
That's
great. And were you able to see the path like from future to now? What you need to do?
Yeah. Take the course.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'll take the course and take it from there and take it day by day and try to get clients.
Great, Wendy, great. I'm so proud of you. Yeah. Anyone else want to share like what your experience at your go? Can you unmute yourself?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Dasha, yeah, now I can
So
hear
I
you.
kept mine pretty specific for today because I have a sale pending, and I literally took myself from work to work. I heard, I saw, I felt everything that was going to happen by this closing it today. I saw the celebration. I felt what it was like to close that deal. And then I took myself in reverse all the way from work, driving home and going through my errands and do what I got to do on the way to work and sitting right back into this moment right now. And inside, I just felt the buzzing, happy feeling in my chest. And it just really brought me a lot of happiness and contentment because I'm going to go today and make that happen.
Beautiful.
And it was just very specific for today. And it felt really, really amazing. And to see it and feel it was awesome.
Works, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Cool.
Anyone else wants to share?
It's amazing how sometimes we forget to remember our future.
Yeah, exactly. Remember the future. Remember the future. And okay, so this is the NLP. NLP is really like how we can adjust the inputs, like even when things happen in our life, like maybe we can't really change what things happen, but we can always control our output, like our behaviors, our attitude, our results, because of the program like we put in our brain. It's like this massive, ultimate, amazing, magical processing center, like we can take full control over this. And Neuro-Linguistic Programming is the language that we program our mind. So you can see, like in the moment, you just because you went to the future, now you can experience excitement, the content, and the fulfillment, the happiness feelings from the future. Just how powerful our mind is.
Mm-hmm.
And so today, I want to introduce the concept is state and goals.
Mm-hmm.
So what are those and why they're important? Kyle, what do you think?
Well, just like you created with us, Ariel, it's the goals. We once we are able to see our goals in our future now we are able to program it and see it in our brain being registered in a form of pictures, sounds, feelings, sometimes smells, and even tastes. So we receive information from our environment, and how we perceive it is through our five senses. It goes through our internal representation. It makes a picture, it makes sound, it makes a feeling, a smell, a taste, and then that's going to impact our state, right? So our emotional state is like what Wendy referred to earlier. That's where the law of attraction kicks in. But you need to able to attract what at the same frequency that you're feeling. So if your goal is inspiring, you're gonna feel like as if you have already accomplished that goal. Like Josh, he had a sales, he's closing a sale today. So already he went there. He felt the feelings of what is it like, closing that sale, and automatic when he felt that feeling, now he's tapping into the subconscious, because the language of the subconscious is emotion. Many of us, we set goals on pen and paper, smart goal, okay, great, but there are no emotional attachment to it. There's no emotions that is associated with it. As a result, it stays there on that piece of paper. The key for accomplishing goals is the state, being able to manage your own state. So why is it important to have state and goals? These important because they need to come together.
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful shares, Kyle. Exactly. So state is the emotion that we're feeling. It's emotion like the pictures we have. And so some people say like, oh, I have to accomplish these goals in order to feel happy. Like I have to make this amount of money in order to feel happy, or I have to close the sales in order to feel happy, or I have to have a happy relationship in order for me to happy. I have to be healthy in order to be happy. But think about those statements one more time. Do you really have to have those things in order to be happy? Like if you can feel happy, like we all know, like when we achieve our goals, we will feel happy, we'll feel content, we'll feel fulfilled. But why wait? Why wait? Like if you want, you can start to feel happy and fulfilled and content today, like now. Mm-hmm. It's like what you did a few minutes ago. Why wait? And if you wait that long, like until you achieve something in order to be happy, how do you know when you reach there you will be happy? Right? But how do you know? And sometimes people say, I'm quoting a Richard Bandler here. Sometimes people say, one day you're going to look back at this and laugh. My question is, why wait? Someday, let's make it today. How about that, right? So we don't need to accomplish our goals in order to be happy, in order to be in a positive state. And we can be in a positive state now. We can be happy, be fulfilled, be content, be excited now. And at the same time, enjoying the journey to be at our goal.
Okay, so now you can see the slide, yes?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes, perfect.
Figured.
Yeah. So does it make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So goals, as we all learn, like a lot of school teaches us, the SMART goals, be specific. You have to have time. There needs to be steps. It's measurable. It's self-initiated. So those we all know pretty well how to do it. But the state is really in NLP. I found it's if you get a state down, if you get your state, meaning emotional state down, you are really like 90%. You're good. You're good. Because when you're happy every day, like you're moving to the right direction. And that's it, you're moving to the right direction, and you're gonna be happy now, you're gonna be happy later, you're gonna be happy with what you have now. So later when you have more, you're gonna be happier. Right? It's not either or. There's no waiting.
That's really interesting, Ariel, because when you taught me this this prayer method, the meditation method in the morning, which is being able to be grateful for for the clients that I have and the changes that they're making in their lives right now, and as a result of being grateful for what I have right now, as if
I'm finding myself being thirsty all of a sudden.
So with that being said, it's like there's many of us that we want to do things in order to have the outcome and in order to become happy, and that is the biggest trick that the universe throwed upon us. In order for us, for many, you talk to successful people, they tell you that it's not you gotta do to have to be, you gotta be to have to do. Okay, so you gotta be happy now for with what we have, so that the universe give you more. So that in a way, for example, like you are in a mall, you have your kid with you, and your child asks for an ice cream cone. You go ahead and you buy them an ice cream cone. Now they're eating the ice cream cone, but then they toss it on the ground. They said, I don't want the ice cream anymore. And now you're walking in the mall again, and now the child's like, hey, I want an ice cream cone. Would you get them an ice cream cone? Maybe, maybe not. If you get them an ice cream cone and they toss it on the ground, on the floor, that means they're not appreciative of it. So you're not gonna get them more, won't you? The same thing, it comes with goals. If you are not appreciative of what you have right now, how dare you, in a way, and I'm speaking to myself, to ask for more? Does that make sense? So that's where Ariel is coming with, is a state. Are we grateful with what we have right now? And when we think of these goals, what the exercise you did right now earlier this morning, as you think of this goal as if it's already accomplished, you already have control over your state, don't you? Which means you're already imprinting the outcome in mind before it actually happens. And when you're feeling the feelings of already being accomplished, now you are moving in that direction. You are vibrating that, you're sending that frequency to that direction. So that's when NLP gives you this access. So you're able to get into that state before even accomplishing the results, and the results will come as a result of having access to that state.
Yeah. So the saying is, if you can't enjoy what you have, you cannot enjoy more of it. Right? We are all at somewhere where at some point in our life, this was our goal, right? At some point in our life, this was our goal. We have already accomplished it. Like, if coming back when you're young, like children, you're a young girl, young boy, what were you trying to accomplish in your life? Maybe it wasn't so complicated. And by that definition, you have accomplished your goal maybe 10 times, 20 times, 100 times already, right? So really, yeah, you deserve to enjoy it. And if you need permission, now is your permission to enjoy every day. Live it like the most happy, the most excited, the most fulfilled as you ever be. Because, for life is a journey, right? And the journey itself is the reward.
So Ariel, can you explain to us the distinction between state versus goals?
So the state is more emotion. It's state ambiguously, meaning like it means certain things for you, like happy, excitement, fulfill, contentment. It means certain things for you, and you can have it now. You don't have to wait. It's something you can have it now. There's no steps. I mean, we did take you through a process, but really once you learn, you can have it. And it's infinite, meaning you can have it forever. You can have it. It's not like once you have today, you have less of it tomorrow. No, it's infinite. As long as you make a decision, you can choose a positive state or a negative state. It's your choice. They're both infinite. But if you can make a choice, you know, like I once heard this metaphor, like this gentleman, he was on an airplane and then he was told the airplane was going to crash. Rejected, deleted from your personal life. This is just a story. You're perfectly safe, perfectly sound. But for the airplane was going to crash. And then he was watching everyone freaking out. And this inner voice just came into his head. This inner voice was saying, just be happy. And he was like, what do you mean? The airplane's gonna crash. How am I gonna be happy? What are you trying to tell me, spiritual guide? And this little voice, his spiritual guide, was just gently told him, like, just be happy. And he's like, what? Oh, I don't know, but why is he telling me that? And then something hit him. Then he understood. So what he understood was, so since the airplane was going to crash, that everyone was going to die. And now he has a choice. He can either die happy or die with fear, right? Because it's gonna come, like this is life. At the end of the life, what is it? It's death, like we all know that. And then at that point, he made a decision. He's like, since I'm going to die anyway, I might as well die happy, right? Come on, like you have a choice. Who says it has to be fearful? Who says you have to be angry? Who says you have to be screaming around? So he just like sit there. He was like, oh, I'll just accept it. I'm just gonna be happy. And he was watching everyone else freaking out on this whole airplane. Like this whole journey was like about like 2 hours. And guess what? The plane landed safely, just fine. And it was just fine. And so during this whole process, everyone else was freaking out. They wasted 2 hours in their life just freaking out. I mean, for God's sake, it could be the last 2 hours of their life. Like, why they waste that? But what if the 2 hours becomes like 2 years, 20 years, 100 years? Why waste that, right? We're all going to one direction. Like, why not just, be happy about it?
So that's why the value versus goals. So, write affirmations is a state, right? So when you write the affirmations, now you know, I am happy now, or I'm becoming better and better every day, versus writing goals on an outcome. It's not now, it's like in the future. So value and state is now, goals are in the future, right?
Yeah.
If you see on the third one here, you can, on the fourth one is no steps, that, you don't need to get steps to get to the emotional state. Like, boom, it's just right there. You go there right now. Versus a goal, you have steps that you need to go through to get there. So, and again, the last one here, it says stated for self and others. That's where the value is, and the state is just for self and for others, versus in the goals is stated for self only. So, the goal is like, I want this or I want that, right? So could you tell us a little bit more about the distinction for that area? What do you mean by stated for self, others versus stated for self only?
So value is something like we can all have, like I can be happy, you can be happy. So it can be for me and for others. And the goals is very personal. Like it's best when you make your own goals. Like you like, oh, I want to be a great speaker on stage. Oh, I want to be this holistic healer. And that's only for you. Like you can't dictate what other people's goals are. It's not empowering. Like people need to come up with their own goals. So it's very personal. Like why you want to accomplish that goal. You know how it feels like, what it looks like, what it sounds like when you accomplish that goal. And nobody can do it for you.
Mhm.
So that's what I mean by the difference between values and goals.
Cool.
Do you guys have any questions between these two terms? Do you get them? How they're different?
What questions do you have? Anything, because this is important when it comes to, you know, the pre-study for anything when it comes to NLP is one of the core in the beginning. You got to able to understand this, the state versus goals. Wendy, you have a question? Okay. All right. Good.
I understood it. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So we can move on to the next slide.
All right.
if you like.
Perfect.
So now we understand the difference between states, the emotion, and goals. And now I want to introduce you a little bit overview of what's good goals, good outcomes, how it's formed. So the first one is stated in positive terms. Be positive. Why is that?
Because the subconscious doesn't, you know, it doesn't understand the difference between negative and positive. So if right now, if I tell you, you know, don't think of a white rabbit just flying above you.
Oh, I can see this white rabbit flying above me. You told me to not think about it, really?
What are you thinking of, right?
I'm trying to not think about it now. Now I create this picture, I gotta delete it.
It's actually a good picture to create. Why wouldn't you? But now you understand that, you know, the subconscious doesn't realize what's positive, and what I tell you, like, not to think about it. If I tell you not to think about that white rabbit, you know, floating above your head, you're thinking about it, aren't you? That's what we're talking about. So if you say to yourself, I want to set a goal saying, like, you know, I don't want to be struggling anymore. That's where the subconscious is reading the word struggling. Does that make sense? So that's why you need to state it in the positive, instead of saying, you know, I am, you know, making this much money, doing this much by this time. Now this is very clear. It's positive oriented. Does that make sense? So that's why we say it's just stated in the positive, because the subconscious doesn't distinguish between positive and negative. It takes it literally. So you don't want to program negative, you know, programs in your brain. You want to program positive. You want to use positive terms. So state what you want, not what you don't want. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah, definitely. Very good. And when we state the goals, we also want to state it in present tense.
Mm.
And even better, as if you have already accomplished.
That's right.
Like,
so,
how do you do that?
So for example, you say, I am, you know, let's say I am closing this sales deal, okay, by the end of the day. In your case, Josh, you use the word I am. I am, it triggers something in the subconscious. That means I am living it right now. It's like, and it automatically, it's emotions. See, what happens is most people say, I want to. When you say I want to, it's somewhere out there in the future. The subconscious has no association with it. It's not associated. It's dissociated, meaning it's not in that moment. There are no emotions. Remember, you are communicating with the subconscious. To accomplish your goals, you are communicating with the subconscious. The subconscious is the access for you attracting and accomplishing your goals. And the language of the subconscious is emotions. So anytime, anything you can do to create emotions around your goals and your outcomes, that's what you want. So in NLP, well-formed conditions and well-formed outcomes, you want to be able to, you know, state it in the positive, but also the step number 2 is also you want to be able to have it as if it's already accomplished. We're using in the present tense. It's not like I will, or I would like to, or I want to. You want to say it as I am. So in your case, you know, I am, for example, Wendy, I am a medical doctor by, you know, November 2020, let's say. Okay, I am. The subconscious is like, oh my God, I am, right? So it's like it's associated with it, and now it's getting programmed there. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Try it out. Like, feel how you feel when you say, I am a deal closer. I am a successful businessman. I am a great public speaker. I am an NLP practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
And even better, you can start trying to say like, thank you for making me this great deal closer. Thank you for making me this great public speaker. Thank you for closing these deals. Mm-hmm. Thank you for making me this beautiful healer.
That's
like
right.
Try it out and feel, like we invite you to try it out for yourself, maybe for the rest of this week, and then see how you feel about it.
Good. So our assignment, our challenge to you right now, as you're listening to this, pick up a pen and paper if you can, if you have pen and paper or on your phone, and I want you to write down a goal that is stated in the positive and also stated in the present tense, okay? As we go through the next steps, which step number 2 is initiated and maintained by the client or by you. So what does that mean, Ariel?
It means the goal is very personal to you. You know your goals. Like when we did the exercise in the beginning, you know exactly how the goals feel like, and you know exactly what you need to do step by step, how to achieve it, to move to that direction, at least to begin with. Mm-hmm. So it's very personal to you. And because of that, many of you, maybe you work with clients or you have employees, and it's important to remember you can't impose a goal onto others. Maybe it's your kids, maybe it's your friend, maybe it's your family. It doesn't work that way. The goals have to be initiated by them, if that's their goal. It's like sometimes parents want their kids to, not eat candy or like not buy toys, but it doesn't work because that has to be what they like. Just also to keep that in mind, when people like don't really agree with your goal, everyone is different. So that's their personal journey. You can influence them, but you can set it for them.
Great. And for you personally, so if you stated like, I am a medical doctor by November 2020, and let's say your partner or your mother or your family member, you need their approval, or you need something from them, or you need something from the university, that is not under your control, or at least to some level of your control. That means you're putting your outcome in someone else's hands. So that's where we talk about is you got to be able to be initiated and maintained by you, meaning it's not like someone else has control over the matter. Yes, I mean, you may need to find ways and resources to make it happen from other people, but but you don't need to have one specific person, for example, to be able to say yay or nay to that. Make sense? And number 3, ecological. What does that mean when you say ecological?
If you can move to next slides, it's self-explanatory. It's kind of like how we talk about sustainability in our, when we eat food, like where's the source, how does it impact your body, how does it impact the environment. And ecology in NLP, it just means like after this goal, like why do you want this? Like what will you gain or lose if you have it?
So let's do it right now, right? So they're writing their goals right now. You guys writing your goals? Yeah. Okay, good. So right now, if you're not writing your goals, and I see like some of you, like, Wendy, you're not in front of a desk, that's fine. Just answer these questions for yourself. So we're going to be asking these questions, and now think of these questions right now. So for what purpose do you want this? And then you answer for yourself. Okay. For what purpose do you want this goal? What will you gain or lose if you have it? So many times we set goals, but then on subconscious level, we resist it. For example, I have many clients, they say they want to, for example, they want to make a lot of money, and they want to make, let's say $1 million a year. Okay. It's simple. They want to make $1 million a year. No problem. Except deep down inside, they're programmed that, if they make a lot of money, they're going to lose their friends, and their friends won't talk to them anymore because now they are at a different level. So yes, part of them, they want to, be successful and they want to make this much money. But then another part of them is that they don't want to lose their friends. That's where it's very important to address what are the other parts that are maybe have concerns towards it. For example, let's say, you know, Eddie, if you want, you know, I know you want to be able to have, you know, your clinic running itself, and you be able to focus on, you know, building the business, working on the business rather than working in the business. So what will you gain or lose if you have that? So I'm just making assumptions here. Let's say, if, you know, what you would gain is you will gain freedom of time, so that you can spend more time with your wife, and you can go to conferences, and you could, you know, network with other people, and you can, you know, bring business, and you can expand your business. Great. What could you lose if you have that? Maybe, and I'm not sure, I'm just making things up, I'm giving an example. Maybe you could lose the sense that, you know, you're working with your hands, because I know how much you love working with your hands. You know, I mean, I'm your patient. You worked on my teeth, right? And I see the level of, you know, delicacy that you do, and the level of details, the level of, you know, integrity that you bring to your practice. So maybe that's something that you would lose, is, you know, you working with your own hand and enjoying that. So it's important to address that. So because now the subconscious have emotions associated with it. So we need to make sure to address all the concerns that the subconscious has. And that's where we go through this series of questions.
So what we invite you to do, since we're running out of time, I invite you to take a picture of these slides and write it down, your answers about this one goal you set in the beginning of this workshop, and write down the answers to each single one of this question.
That's right.
So you can have some more clarity about your goals, and we can also have some share like next week before we start. Perfect.
All right, good. So the last ones would be, if you're not watching the screen, is what will happen when you get it? You know, what are the amazing things that's going to happen? What won't happen if you get it? So anything that you want to base your goals on is going to be based on pain and pleasure. You want to make leverage. You're going to put leverage. So the more pain that you put towards not accomplishing this goal, and the more pleasure you put towards accomplishing this goal, the subconscious, you know, scale is finally going to, like, boom. Yes, I don't want that pain. I want that pleasure. So the more you stack pain towards not accomplishing this goal, and the more you stack pleasure towards accomplishing this goal, you know, the lever is going to, you know, tilt towards, you know, accomplishing that goal. That's why we want to stack as many pain towards, you know, why it's no more, it's even acceptable not accomplishing this goal. You know, if I don't accomplish this goal, I'm going to be miserable. I'm going to be suffering. You know, I'm going to be not just for me, for my family, for my friends, for my partners, for my business, for my community. You know, what is it, how that's going to impact them. And then you're going to go into what would happen if you get it. It's like, oh, I'm going to feel this sense of reward. I'm going to help a lot of people. I'm going to help myself, so on and so forth. And the last two questions here, what will happen if you don't get it? And what won't happen if you don't get it? So now this is like a double bind, and it's important to address that too. And there's many things could come up. So our assignment to you between now and next week, like Ariel said, is take a picture of this. Okay. And if you can't take a picture, just send me an email. I'll send that to you. And go ahead and write down your well-formed outcome between now and next week, so that we can go through it next week and make it even more clear and install it in your future.
So next week we will review it, we'll unpack it for you, and I will share with you exactly how to do mental rehearsal and how to achieve your goals quickly and easily and with joy.
Awesome. All right, very good. Well, thank you everybody for being on this call. We appreciate you. This is taking place every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Arizona time. We look forward to serve you. If you know someone who could benefit from this, just have them refer to us. Let us have a conversation with that person, and then maybe we can be able to have them to join us. Until then, be fearless.
Thank you.
Go out there and create your goals now.
Yeah.
Thank you. See ya.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much. That was amazing.
Awesome. You got it.